family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai. Well, we're going to soon be seeing some of the construction that's been talked about for a long time in Christian County, and someone who knows a lot about that is the executive director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation, Matt Hart. Matt, thanks for coming in this morning.
Reed, it's always great to be with you. It's a beautiful, going to be a warm day today, but great to be with you today.
Yeah, no, it's good to be with you, and it's a great day to be a tornado.
That's always a great day to be a tornado. It's a great day to be a Pana Panther. It's a great day to be, we got all the sports teams now are in the season, and it's a fun time of year.
Yes, it sure is, and I'm glad you mentioned some of those other teams, because it is sort of relevant with some of those road work plans that are going on or about to be going on. Yeah. And I know you have plenty of them that you want to talk about. Let's start, of course, with arguably the biggest one, Route 29 going into Pana. Yeah. I think that one formally starts. Was it this coming Monday, or was it the last Monday?
Well, it actually started last Monday. Now, of course, okay. When you have a big project, and this is a big project, this is a 1.5 year project going on in Pana. And there's a lot of preparation that goes into that, but officially started last Monday. But Route 29, which if anyone has traveled Route 29 in Pana, it is very, very rough. It's long overdue for a repair, and not just patching over, but they're doing a full rebuild. This is a $10 million project, a $10.5 million project that is going on in Pana. Started on March 23rd, goes all the way through July of 2027. But again, it's a $10.5 million project. It's a complete rebuild. They're literally taking up the existing pavement, the existing underlying pavement, putting in new curbs, new gutters, new sidewalks. And it's essentially Route 29. If you're coming from Taylorville, it's when you hit the Welcome to Pana sign. Basically, from there all the way to Route 51, where Route 29 terminates, the southern termination of Route 29. So it's much needed. It's going to be a huge improvement. And I know everybody in Pana is very much looking forward to it. Anybody who travels through Pana is very much looking forward to it. Of course, it does mean you're going to see some orange barrels. You're going to see some lane closures over the next 1.5 years. But it'll be worth it when we have a brand new rebuilt Route 29 through Pana, Illinois.
Yeah, so that's big going on there in Pana. And I know part of the impact is obviously making the roads a little bit better, and then you've also got the employment for the folks to do the actual work. I know that's something you really keep an eye on. And what is kind of that outlook in terms of what that's going to look like?
Yeah. Well, anybody wants to, if you're looking to grow or expand your business, you want to have good roads. You want to have not only reliable roads and safe roads, but roads that, that just look nice. And it just kind of, it's better than a fresh coat of paint. It's a new highway. And so we're really excited about that. I mean, we've got the industrial park on the north side of Pana that, is right there. The trucks traveling in and out of that industrial park now will have better roads to get in and out of Pana. And we've got some plans right now to expand some of the businesses that are in there. I'm hoping to talk about that very, very shortly. But yeah, Pana's got a lot going on, and it's not just Route 29, Reed. They've got a lot going on in downtown Pana as well. Mayor Nathan Pastor is doing a fantastic job in Pana. Some of the things they've got going on right now is they've got a redevelopment of 101 East 2nd Street. This is a $500,000 project that is going in. They're putting in an old-time candy shop, which improves just the quality of living for, not only businesses in Pana, but the people who call Pana home.
Especially the kids.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, that's one project. There's another major project, a little over $6 million project going on that includes about 5 different parcels in Pana. It's called the Pana Plaza Project. Jack Matthews Development is doing that. That's going to include mixed-use apartments, commercial storefronts, and a new outdoor venue space for Pana, which, again, that's going to be fantastic. A huge improvement to the downtown area in Pana. $6.25 million. That starts in June of this year. Will run through June of next year. And then, of course, you can't have all these projects if you don't have great utilities. And so there's some major utility projects going on as well. There's a $1.5 million project in City of Pana that's going to replace the 8-inch water main that they have going through their downtown area. That one has already started. It'll run through August, but that's going to get rid of the old cast iron water mains that we have and put in the newer style water mains that we have that should last another 100 years in downtown Pana. And then finally, again, there's so much going on in Pana. They've got a transmission main replacement as well for the city of Pana that they're doing. That's going to replace the largest transmission main to their water treatment plant. That's $2.4 million. That just started last week and will go through August of this year. So a lot going on in Pana. I will say for everybody in Pana, please be patient as these projects go on, but it's going to be well worth it when you've got improvements to Route 29 and major improvements to downtown Pana.
And it sounds like the folks who were involved in planning all of this, I mean, they really thought about everything, right? Like you mentioned, the aesthetics, and then, that kind of ties in with the utilities. And then you were talking about the water main as well. So, it seems like it was well thought out. And then you said the downtown Pana development was going to run until June of 2027.
Correct.
And then so you've got that. You've got the road project finishing in July of 2027. Yeah. So it sounds like Pana folks should maybe mark their calendars for June and July of 2027. Things are going to wrap up and look different.
Yeah. Mayor Nathan Pastor has done a great job down there. And when this is all done, downtown Pana is going to look very, very different. It's going to be a huge boost to the downtown area. And then again, with Route 29 being completely rebuilt, especially for anyone coming from the north coming into Pana, it's really going to make some major improvements to Pana.
That is exciting. I can't wait to see how that turns out as that all wraps up, it sounds like, in the summer of 2027. So you've got all of that going on. Anything else to highlight about Pana or the Route 29 project or any other big road project?
Yeah, so we've got two big projects going on this year in Christian County. Pana and Route 29 is the biggest one. The second biggest one is Mount Auburn Road. And again, I think if anybody travels between Mount Auburn and Taylorville, you'll know that road is in much need of repair. And so that is in the multi-year program for the Illinois Department of Transportation, but that is on the schedule for 2026. So we know Mount Auburn Road is going to get a facelift this year. Not a complete rebuild, but it is a resurfacing of Mount Auburn Road. So you'll see that go on here in 2026 as well. And then there's two other projects in the county that are in the multi-year program. The multi-year program is a 6-year program, but it's the first step in getting your project done. The Pana Route 29 has been in the multi-year program for, I think, about 4 years. But there's two other projects that in the county that are in the multi-year program. They won't be done in 2026. They'll be done sometime between 2027 and 2030. And that's Route 29 through the city of Taylorville. And when I say through the city of Taylorville, I mean literally from the northern boundary of Route 29 all the way to where it meets up with Route 48 on the south side of town. So that one, again, that's in the multi-year program, won't be in 2026, and IDOT hasn't announced yet if it'll be 2027 or 28 or 29, but it will be happening in the next few years. It is included in the plan, and it is budgeted in the 6-year plan. And then the fourth and final project that's in the multi-year program in the county is Lincoln Trail. Lincoln Trail, which runs east out of Taylorville, that is in need of resurfacing as well. That too is in the 6-year multi-year program. We know it won't be 2026, but again, when IDOT tells us when it is, it will be in 27, 28, 29, 30, one of those years. So, but again, those are much needed investments. And I can tell you, Reed, as soon as Route 29 is done in Pana this year, and as soon as Mount Auburn Road is done, we'll be asking for, the next project, couple of big projects to be included in that as well. Route 48 is a major corridor as well. That one's going to need some attention soon. Route 104 is another road that we want to make sure we keep that up to date. But we're constantly communicating with IDOT and making sure that the state is continually reinvesting in roads here in Christian County.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it as well. I mean, anyone who's obviously out on the roads, they do see how things are now, and then they well, have something to look forward to in terms of what's to come. So you were talking about I think you called it the 6-year plan with some of those other roads. So and then it sounds like we're still trying to figure out when some of these will start, but they should end by 2031.
They might, but it's the Illinois Department of Transportation's multi-year program is a program that they are required to put out every year, and so it's a plan that says, here's what we're doing this year, but then here's what we plan on in the next 5 years, and here's what we budgeted for the next 5 years, after this year, and that, of course, every year there's a new 6-year program that comes out. So if your plan, the first step in getting your project done is to get it into this 6-year plan, and then we have to fight to keep it in the 6-year plan because we don't want legislators pulling it out or taking it out or replacing it with something else. So it's a constant battle, it's a constant struggle. But again, this is why we have the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. It's our job to maintain those relationships with the Illinois Department of Transportation, with our elected officials, with the governor's office, to make sure that our county is represented, that our county gets included in these projects. And like I said, as soon as we get, the projects that are done this year, we'll move right on to, okay, what's the next project that we got to get in there? And we will be working with the Illinois Department of Transportation to make sure that those projects get in there. So Christian County is continually seeing investment.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about with the Christian County Economic Development Corporation, whose executive director is Matt Hart, who joins us this morning on the WTIM Morning Show. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll have plenty more to talk about, I'm sure, right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Developments.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Two-sided trade with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat make corn down 2 3/4, 464.5. July corn down 2 1/4, 475.5. And new crop December 492.5, down 3/4. May beans up to 1173 3/4. July beans up 1 1/2, 1189 1/4. New crop November 1152 3/4, up 2 3/4. May wheat unchanged, 597 3/4. May KC wheat is up 2 3/4, 620.5. May bean meal 318.90, down 90 cents. May bean oil 67.88, up 78 cents. Livestock trade, April live cattle 234.25, down 17 cents. March feeders up $1.37, 363.25. May lean hogs 95.65, up a dime. Energy market, June Brent crude oil up $3.54, $100.80.
Hi, I'm Mark Sanders, and I'm your longtime host, interviewing Shelbyville and Shelby County community and business leaders every week. For some 10 years, WTIM, your information station, has originated its Friday morning show live from our downtown Shelbyville studios. Tune in on AM or FM or online every Friday from 8:40 to 10. Brought to you by these great sponsors.
The Sarah Bush Lincoln Shelbyville Clinic and its network of specialists throughout Central Illinois is proud to be the title sponsor of the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show each week.
If you're looking for music that stood the test of time, then join me, Randy Miller, Sunday mornings from 6 to 8 on 96.5thechill.com. I host Win the Day Replay, a 2-hour syndicated show that takes you back to the roots of contemporary Christian music. From the songs that started a movement to the hits that shaped our faith, you'll hear 2 hours of encouragement, inspiration, and timeless CCM. Win the Day Replay, going back to the music that built our faith. Sunday mornings, 6 to 8 on 96.5thechill.com.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, are proud to continue their long-standing sponsorship of honoring Taylorville High School Students of the Month on WTIM's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online, and on WMKR, Genuine Country 94.3.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Murphy. I am the Taylorville High School Senior Student of the Month. My guardians are Tara and Bart Grafton. I am a part of THS Purple Rain. I enjoy going fishing and driving around with my friends. After high school, I am going to the Air Force Basic Training. Once I complete that, I plan to get my RN. English is one of my favorite classes because I find it easy to stay on track. I also like business management. It's one of my funnest classes.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, salutes these great Taylorville High School students on this honor and wish them the best in their future. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Your information station, WTIM.
And we're back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue my discussion with Matt Hart, the Executive Director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. And we talked in the first segment about a lot of the big projects going on the roads, especially into Pana and other work specifically in Pana in the downtown area. There's plenty going on as well with the industrial park in Taylorville. And Matt, what do you have to share about that?
Yeah, so we're really excited about some of the projects going on in the Taylorville Commercial Industrial Park, and this is the 46-acre park that is between Walmart and Trinity on Route 29 on the north side of Taylorville. But a lot of people have seen that the roads built, the street lights are in, the utilities are in, and the city of Taylorville last month, or actually at the very beginning of this month, approved the two different projects, or the sale of some of that land for two different projects. One of the projects that they approved was for Galaxy Trucking, which is a local business. They got an option now to purchase 4 lots there, and we're still communicating with them and talking with them about that. But that would put one new business in the industrial park. And then the other one is Barker Implement, and Barker Implement, their sales contract was approved as well. That would put in a new implement dealer here in Taylorville, and they're still negotiating with some of the other landowners involved in that, and we're hopefully here in the next week or so we'll have that ironed out. But again, that will be potentially 2 new businesses that we have in that Taylorville Commercial Industrial Park, and that would have 8 lots of those 17 lots sold. And so we still got some room. So if people are interested and want to look out there, all they've got to do is reach out to me. Our number is 217-565-2280. You can go onto our website at christiancountyedc.com and see the industrial park and see some of that. But again, there's 17 lots out there. The great thing about the Taylorville Commercial Industrial Park is that all of those parcels, all 17 different lots, all have the what we call the big 3 in economic development. They're in the enterprise zone, they're in the business development district, and they're in a TIF district. And I know that can sound like some big words or some big terminology, but really here's what those incentives mean is, number one, if anything you build in there with the enterprise zone, you're not going to pay any sales tax. That's about a 10% savings off the top anytime you want to build something in there. The business development district is something that the city of Taylorville has. There's grant opportunities there as well to help you invest. And then the TIF district itself, what I tell people about TIF is that is an economic development tool that generally, in our experience, it saves about 1/3 of the construction costs, whatever you're thinking about doing. And every TIF project is different, and every TIF project has to be approved by the Taylorville City Council. But just in our experience, what we've seen is if you're thinking about building out there, you want to save 1/3 of your building costs, you can do that in a TIF. So a lot of activity going on out there. And again, if anyone wants more information about those lots in the Taylorville Commercial Industrial Park, all they've got to do is reach out to us.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the beginning of the road construction and the streetlights, because kind of helped me visualize it. Now I know what it is I was seeing there between Walmart and Trinity, because I was trying to picture where they all are placed, and I thought, oh yeah, there's room for a road in between there, and then you go a little bit further out, and so further out is where the lots are.
Right. Yeah, you can drive right down Hopper Lane, which is the street there, and you'll see every lot is labeled, so you can see lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. They've all got signs out there. They're labeled. So yeah, I encourage you. I mean, it's just right off of Route 29. There's 12,000 vehicles a day that pass through there. It's got the truck access. If you've got commercial motor vehicles that need direct access to a 4-lane highway, you've got that there. But yeah, anyone's welcome to go out there and drive up and down that street and take a look at those lots again. If you want more information, want to know more about any of that, just reach out to me. Again, our number is 217-565-2280. Go to the EDC website, which is christiancountyedc.com.
Yeah, that's lovely. I'll have to check that out. I want to see what that looks like. With about a minute left, I want to point out something that you mentioned. You talked about, I think, one of the businesses that's already signed on for this was an implement business, which sounds very, I would say, appropriate and profitable for an area like this. I mean, we've talked about Sloan Implement on this show. That's worked out really well, and it sounds like we've got another success story in the making here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Sloan's has built that brand new, beautiful facility in Edinburgh on Route 29. I will mention, by the way, their old facility in Taylorville is available as well out by the airport. I know they've got some interest as a possible buyer there. But the name of the game in economic development is having more capacity. as long as we are building, and that's what Barker Implement is going to do, it gives us more capacity and more ability to bring new businesses to the county.
And that's what it's all about, says Matt Hart from the CCEDC. Matt, thanks for coming on this morning.
Always my pleasure. Thanks, Reed.
And thank you for listening to the WTIM Morning Show. You have a good day.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM